Hey guys, it's SD, your host of the Life Picks Relationship podcast, where people with all sorts of backgrounds, challenges, and life experience show us how they make their relationship extraordinary. Hey guys, we're here today with Melissa Carvalho. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Great. So excited to be here. You want to tell us a bit about yourself and what you do?
Yeah, sure. So I am a career and life coach. I actually help women just find the jobs of their dreams, helping them with confidence and interviewing. I do resume writing as well as LinkedIn. So I'm also a LinkedIn certified LinkedIn profile expert, I guess you could say. And so that's basically, a passion of mine. I love to be able to just help people advance and get into their skills and into that job confidence to where they're going to lie into happiness. Yeah, so that's basically, I guess, my overview of myself.
So, do you like to write?
I do. I like writing more than speaking. I'm more of a writer than an actual talker. I can write away emotions. I can write away like anything, but verbalizing it, it's completely different.
So, what makes your relationship extraordinary?
I would say that between myself, and my spouse, it's basically that being able to take action for one another and just being able to understand each other, because without, understanding and without being able to just forgive and go on with everything within, mistakes or whatever it may be, it's really, really powerful. So I think because we have that really great just foundation of basis of understanding, it leads to just a really, really great, fulfilling relationship.
Was it always like that?
I would say that in the beginning, it was more so that didn't really have anything to do with anything because we were just dating. So in a dating aspect, it's more innocence. It's not as, mature, I guess you could
Yeah.
say. So that wasn't really established until marriage comes about. And it's a whole different thing to where you have to really work at it and understand what makes everything successful, I guess you could say.
Yeah. So, what's one difference between you and your spouse that you love?
I would say that he takes his tasks and he has more patience, I guess, than myself. I'm much more of an action taker. If I have a thought, I'm going to do. If he has a thought, he's going to just more so plan it out and then execute. So I don't know if like you follow human design at all, or if you've heard of human design. He's a projector and not a manifesting generator. So I just want to do, and sometimes I don't stop and I don't think, I don't make my actions. But him, he's just very just he really just makes his plan and has like a thought for everything, which in a sense I think helps us kind of go hand in hand because it's opposite. So
Yeah.
we kind of just mesh together
You push him to do things and he stops you from doing crazy things.
so many times. So I'm like, okay, I guess I needed you, because if it was me, I just probably would have just jumped.
Could you tell us one time that he stopped you and he's like, okay, let's think and work this through?
Oh God, there's probably so many. Most of them are like purchase actions. So like I'm gonna be like, oh, I need this. I need this. I need this right now. I need this. I need this course. I need this education. He'll be like, why don't you just plan it out or see if it's really gonna align with you? Why don't you do some research? And I'm like, why do I have to research? Like, no, I'm attracted to it. I want it. So yeah, so a lot of like those tends to happen when it comes to like a purchase sense. So he kind of makes me think smart, which is good.
Have there been any times that you pushed him to do stuff because he was just sitting around thinking about it?
I push. So I'll be like, we have to get this done. Or did you do this yet? Did you do this yet? You have to do it yet. And to the point to where I'm going to force you to do it. Here it is, right in front of you. Do it. So it's like we kind of go hand in hand. So he kind of makes me think. Him, I just make him like make the action to really just get it going. Or motivation, like, come on, like it's going to help you. You're going to, do really good if you try it and just focus on it. So a lot of positivity. So I think that's kind of like where I can stand strong to where I'm strong about.
But
So
does it lead to fights and arguments?
sometimes, but not necessarily like I would say like an argument. It's more of a disagreement of understanding, right?
Yeah,
So it's
yeah,
like
yeah.
just because you don't really understand why or like what the actual like result is, it's this difference of like where it's probably like an argument, but it's not really. It's just being like, okay, here's my point, here's your point, here's a point, here's the middle. Because if you write out and do all these things, it's going to help you for your success and what you want to do. So
Yeah. So is there a similarity that you love?
I would say that we like to be comfortable, and I'm like a homebody, and so I like to just sometimes not do anything, or in a sense just like not have like that much movement. I would say that I'm more of like this bipolar person to where I like human contact and then I hate human contact and I have to stay away from humans.
Yeah, you just hate all people, get out of here. I'm not interested in seeing anyone.
Yes, yes, exactly. Just like leave me alone, don't bother me, and it's like let me be in my box because it's like I've always been to this person where I need both. But so he when it's like I don't really want to be around a huge surrounding, and it's like I just want to be home and stuff. So it's like he's comfortable with that. He's okay with that, and like he actually enjoys that, just like sitting around and doing nothing. And then we're also kind of similar when we work on our business aspect. We're almost like a partnership, I would say, because he's like more this digital photography person. That's like his career, and I just like to do my writing and helping out everything. So like he kind of helps with myself in a marketing standpoint. I don't have to do the things that I don't like to do. So it's like we have a similar kind of goal, and then like in an online space, which is great.
That's cool. And then you both agree to the same type of vacation of just chilling on the beach.
Yes.
Because, like,
Yes.
none of you want adventure. That's not vacation. That's more work.
That's exactly me. I'm a beach person. I'm a warm weather person. I can just lay down on the beach and not do anything, and I'll be very, very happy versus like, let's go on a roller coaster and go on some type of ride. Sure, maybe every once in a while, it's going to venture for an experience, but
But that's not vacation. You'll need a vacation after that.
after, yeah, like my vacation is just sit on the beach, maybe have a drink and just relax, tan, enjoy, read a book, listen to Audible, whatever it is.
What's your
Yeah.
favorite types of books?
I like a lot of like positivity books, anything that's like kind of motivator. Currently, I'm listening to like this book that's actually more so on assisting with other methods within like a resume writer and a career writer perspective. So it's called What is Your Parachute? So it's very like focused on different strategies for like resume, or not resume, but like finding your dream job and just succeeding in life and being able to just grow and do other strategies besides the online quick apply. So it teaches you how to really be social and search for a job, how to network, how to grow. So I kind of like that in the sense to old style methods that people don't really use today that I can kind of utilize within what I do to just help, clients and everybody just grow and have a different perspective on success. And other than that, I'm actually also reading Be Obsessed or Be Average. And that's a really, really good book. So this one's basically about obsessed with what your drive is, what your motivation is, and what you really want to do. Because a person that is not obsessed with what they're doing, they're not going to get anywhere to where they want to be. And so it's just teaching you on really hone in and different methods and strategies to just show your obsession and your creativity for what you're doing and how to stay obsessed with what you're doing without kind of falling off.
Any strategies or tools in there you've read or have tried that you think work?
Well, usually it's something that they talk about is like having routines, like daily routines, like starting off your day with like a morning routine or some type of thing that kind of gets you in that right mind. Everyone, I think, talks about mindset as if it's like this thing, which is it's important, right? It's important. It does help your day a lot and help you really grow, but it's also about the action. I'm a big believer on taking an action because you can have your right mind, but if you're not doing anything, then it's what's the whole point?
Yeah.
But it did teach me to have more sober routines. So I'm big on trying to, if I don't read in the morning, I read at night, but I do gratitude a lot. And I've been liking that because for myself, it helped me realize that showing appreciation to, small things, whether it's just your cup of coffee or some small success that happened, whether it's big or small, is really important to recognize. And it makes you just feel more filled. So I like to start off with that. So I do that with writing, and then sometimes I'll do like a quick meditation through like a meditation app. I think it's Headspace that I'm using right now, and just kind of being able to just have time before really making any actual work or movement, because I guess it starts it off right, because normally when you wake up you're on your phone or like you're doing an action, but you don't take that time really just for yourself. So taking that time for yourself really structures up your day, I feel like.
Yeah. So how's your relationship different now from when you first met?
In the beginning, it was clearly like innocent, right? So how I kind of described it's basically your personality isn't really showing. You're still in that self self-discovery of who you are, who they are. It's cutesy, right? I guess it's like that, like honeymoon daisy stage, to where now it's, I guess, mature, right?
Yeah. So what do you wish you knew before you got married?
That it's work. It's like a lot of, it's work, and it's not a bad job, right? It's positive because it's, as long as you're with that person that likes you up and all that, but it's the responsibility of it, because it's still like you're not just you anymore. So it's you and your partner, so you have to be able to work with meeting each other within their, what their means are. So you may have do a routine this way, but they may do a routine the other way, and being able to just think through of how we're going to meet the differences and make it together and just kind of join as one. It's clearly just being able to have more responsibility and understand responsibility, and being able to work with that person, because it's literally not just about you anymore. It's us, right? It's not anymore just me and what I want to do and what's about me. It's us together. So knowing that it was like going to be more so of thought, and just, like you're really going to have to just, be strong about it and be able to have like that patience, which I'm a very patient person as it is. But you think of it as, okay, I have another person, I'm gonna have like this great, like it's more income, it's, I get to have a house, and I get to like do XYZ with my partner because it's love, and you get to do all these things. But it's like, no, wait, like there's life and there's other things more, because now it's not just you, it's you and them.
Was it hard in the beginning until you came to realize that?
Yeah, I mean, because usually like you don't have the expenses as you do when, you're, living by yourself, or if you're living with like your parents or whatever. I came from living with my parents into living
That's a
living
huge
off of a
jump.
partner. So
Yeah.
it's a jump, right? Because it's like, oh, we have all these bills, and then it's like, oh, our money's going everywhere, or now we have a food shop, and now I got to cook more. And so it's all positive, right? It's all great things, because you have to go through all that to realize how to really manage it and how to make it work. So now we have goals, and we understand what we need to do to make that goal work, whether it's, how we make a goal to afford a new car, or how do we set this goal to like get a new house, right? And so it's being able to clearly just strategize it, and work on it together. And it's live and learn, right? So there's points to where things fall apart, and
Yeah, that's what life is, no? Do you have the same mindset in strategizing how to figure out something or completely different?
Usually it's my strategy is just mindset. I really want to invest in, let's just say, a new car, right? It's basically saying, okay, how much do I need to do a deposit for,
A
the
new car.
vehicle?
Right.
And being like, okay, this is how much we're doing. This is how much it costs for what we want to look for. This is then how much we're using on these expenses. And this is how much we have technically left over. So if we save X amount in 8 months, we should be able to have the value of what we want. So, and then it's sticking to it. So if we know that's what we have to do, it's not falling off, and it's not like saying, oh, I'm going to go buy like a $500 electronic because I really want it right now, when, you have the
We
goal
know
to.
that you're saving for this. Yeah. So
Right,
you're in
right.
it together. You're both really
Exactly.
in it together. Yeah, yeah.
Exactly. And wanting the same things. Because you don't want the same things, then it's like one's all in and the other one's kind of out. So it's like,
Yeah. And then get frustrated that, like, this is not working.
this is not exactly. So it's really just being able to have that mindset, that focus of like, this is the end result. I want it within this time period, and we're going to do it. And that's with anything. So it's like, that's kind of like where my, strategy of like having that morning routine and having that kind of like inner thought process of like appreciation and kind of going through what you want and what your goals are, is kind of like important, because it keeps you focused on, the end result, whether it's in a relationship basis or like a personal basis or career basis, whatever it is.
Yeah, yeah. So what have you been able to do because of a relationship together?
I've been able to grow myself because of our relationship together, I could say. And it's because like, and I would say that he has because of me too, us in a sense, both together, because,
Yeah, you grow separately as people and then together as a couple.
yeah. And separately, and for my career wise, like I said, he does everything that I've never been able to do when it comes to like an advertisement standpoint or a creative standpoint. It's usually my creatives are like, here it is, it's out, because that's just what I do. I just I just implement and then let it go, to where it's his forte. It's what he's really strong in. So he's helped me a lot with just cutting a lot of my time in half. And so it's been very, very helpful, and it's been great. And then from his standpoint, I've helped him with understanding resumes. I've helped him with also understanding on that motivation point of business, because he's scaling what he's really good at in a corporate world to the online space, because he does that for me. So why not, right? And so I'm happy about that, because he's really, really good. But being that support there for him that he probably wouldn't have had if it was just him on his own, and just kind of like probably taking longer to discover this is what I can do, or even having that vision of like, this is a possibility for me. But yeah, I would say that, and clearly like just being able to have a company to go places too, because like I've never really traveled prior to our relationship, because I've always been just work and work and work, and there's no time to go on vacation, and who am I really going to go on a vacation with?
So now you could really enjoy life.
Yeah. So like now, like we travel, and we have a really good travel year, at least for 2022, because what we want to do, it's a mutual thing. And I probably wouldn't have done that if we weren't married, because I wouldn't think of like, oh, I'm going to go to I don't know, France, or I'm going to go to like Mexico, just because
Is that
of
where you're
like,
going?
we're going to St. Thomas, and then we're going to Dominican Republic. But it's supposed to be our travel year, so I'm trying to figure out where else we're gonna go. So
So cool.
I mean, I like, as long as there's a beach there, I'm good.
What's the best relationship advice you've ever gotten?
I would say that the best relationship advice I ever gotten is to actually have patience and listen to one another. Because if there is this disconnect to where our communication is off, it's not going to lead to a result, or we're not going to have that same positive outcome. So being able to just communicate, and be able to discuss things and be open, because they are supposed to be your partner. You're supposed to be able to say anything that you want to them, right? Because that's your life partner and that's your other half. Has been really, really helpful, because if I vent, he's like the main person that I vent to, and usually it's a positive end result of some form of guidance to where I want to be, and vice versa for him. Like, I'm there to clearly like help and guide and assist. I know some people, like when we were when was it, like the bridal shower or whatever, like we had like a little box, and they're like, don't go to bed angry. And I'm like, what? Like, what do you mean don't go to bed angry? Like, whatever. Like, if I'm gonna go to bed angry, I am gonna go to bed angry. But meaning, like, in a sense, if there's some, usually like our little bickering or small little like things, like sometimes we'll just like, I'll take it like more dramatically, and I'll just be like, I'm not talking to you, and I'm just gonna go away. And then the next day it's like fine. But it's not a good thing, because you're supposed to, whether it's a small thing of taking out the trash, or like, sorry, the food's 3 days old in the fridge, like type of thing, like you're supposed to still be able to just communicate and talk about like, I'm sorry, like XYZ, or like solve the problem, whatever it is.
So you think that a person should never go to sleep angry?
Definitely. Whatever issues or whatever problems or whatever it may be that went on, definitely just take that time to let the cool down point go through, right? But make sure that the day doesn't end without some type of communication or some type of like response, because
Yeah, like I still love you, you know? Yeah.
exactly, because waking up to a new day of like pretending something didn't happen, or like not addressing the situation, it's only going to bottle up whatever hasn't been resolved or hasn't been communicated. So you want to make sure clearly, like, you just communicate it right then and there.
So what relationship advice would you give to someone who wants to make the relationship extraordinary?
Yeah, I would say definitely make sure you have the time to balance and do things. A lot of times life is difficult, right? And there's a lot of things that come into life, but just making sure that you take the time to, whether it's go out for an hour or two, don't disconnect from one another, and just being able to make that time for that person, in whatever form that they like to have their time, whether it's sitting down at home, or just being able to do a walk or whatever it is. But make sure that you spend that time and don't neglect it, because it's really, really important for the relationship to stay a relationship, and to also within like the internal growth of yourself and your partner.
Great. Thank you so much. Guys, I hope you enjoyed that episode and subscribe to the podcast. Leave a comment below so I can know what you think. And to book your relationship photo shoot, CJ session, or just to hear more about what we do, go to lifepicksrelationships.as.me. I'm waiting.